In this video, we're going to break down your backside 360 to see how you can translate it into a 540 and the things you'll want to change in order to make this transition as smooth and easy as possible. Right now, your axis for rotation would actually work great for the 540, even better than it would for the 360. That's because right now your axis rotation is making you come in a little bit heel heavy, a little bit chest down. But if you want to translate that all the way to 180, would end up being a nice toe landing on the back 5. We can really see this axis rotation is happening right here at the 270 mark. You can see how your board is angled in the same way as mine. This angle is too aggressive for a 360, but as you carry over from the 5, it'll make it so your nose here that's angled up that you need to get down can actually stay up a lot higher. So as you rotate to this point, it'll be more up, so it'll come in line with the landing of the jump nice. That said, you'll want to go and make some slight changes in order to make this an easier experience because you're having some inefficiencies in the takeoff that are going and making it so you're drifting and getting less rotation than you'd like for an easy 5. So let's start with the takeoff here. Currently, for your setup carve here, I would delay getting onto your toe edge a little bit. You're getting flat base onto your toe edge pretty soon, and what this is doing is it's making it so you're coming off the takeoff really blind and closed off. We can see this by how angled your snowboard is, and that's going to cause you to drift and not be able to use your hips to open up the rotation. So you could still get the 5 around with that takeoff, give it a little bit of power, use some counter rotation. Back 5s don't take much more rotation, but this little bit of drift makes back 5s really hard to land. The more you drift, the more you need to dig in your toe edge, and the more that's going to make you hunch forward, and it's going to be hard to keep yourself in hand dragging. So in order to get rid of this drift, you're going to want to do a couple things. First of all, you're going to want to extend that heel edge pressure, keep your angle going a bit longer. That way you can spend less time on your toe edge, making it so it's easier to hold that position. And then you're going to want to try keep your chest open towards the end of the takeoff a little bit longer. See here how halfway up the takeoff, I'm in my full wound up position, chest open towards the lip. This is because you want to have your chest opened up so as you go and throw your spin, you can use your full range of motion without having your eyes break away from the end of a takeoff too soon. As soon as your eyes start drifting away from the takeoff, it's going to go and have your legs follow, because if your head starts looking away, your shoulders start looking away, and your shoulders will lead into your board turning up and off the lip, causing drift and causing pre-spin. So you really need to just extend how patient you're being off the jump, keep yourself a little bit taller. And that brings us into our next thing that you can really work on, and that is not letting your shoulder drop as much. You're going and getting this little bit of off-axis rotation. What's okay and manageable, it's the right axis for the back 5, maybe a little bit more corked than would be ideal, but the issue is how you're getting into this cork. Right now you're getting into this cork by letting your shoulder drop and crumple with pre-spin. You really want to be a little bit taller, keeping less pressure on that toe edge and keeping straighter off the edge or off the jump. Right now, the reason why you're needing to rely on so much toe edge is because you're pre-spinning. If you go flat base off the takeoff while you're pre-spinning, you're going to heel catch. So the combo of being blind coming up the lip and going and pre-spinning is making you go and get a lot of edge pressure, which is causing you to lean and break forward. And that's where this axis rotation is coming from. If we compare that to mine, you can see that I'm also throwing down a little bit, dipping a little bit, but I'm doing it with a straight spine. So even though I'm slightly angled and my arms are throwing on this angled position, I'm doing it with straight points in my body, and that's going to make this angle more controllable and consistent. As soon as you start rounding, it makes the motions way more complex, because instead of rotating on let's try to do a diagram. Instead of rotating on like a plain platform here, like a double axis, as soon as you start rounding, it makes it so this axis point becomes a lot less predictable and a lot harder to control because it starts adding more dimensions of movement. So my suggestions is delay that setup carve, keep the hips and chest open a little bit longer, delay your snap, try to leave off closer, and once you can get that back free a little bit flatter with a little bit less drift, making sure that you're clearing that knuckle, you'll be able to go and stomp the back 5 no problem. Remember, a back 5 doesn't take much more rotation than a back free, because you can use your legs to finish it off with counter rotation. We can go and highlight that here. See how I let go of the grab and then rotate my legs around? That makes it so this trick doesn't take much more power. So you need to work on staying taller, getting more power through that rotation, because right now I'm afraid if you try to add more power into your spin, it's going to be put more down, causing you to cork even more than you already are. So making those changes to make it so much easier, so when you go and try your back fives, you'll be able to land them no problem. That said, I do think you could land one right now with that axis rotation and form, but I think you should go and take these steps because it's better to go and have it feel really easy than to push through. Oh, actually, one more thing we need to mention here. We can tell that you're sort of blind and getting blocked off because of this back arm here blocking your rotation. So you have good head positioning here, but that's another thing to watch for in your riding is you want this arm to be leading the spin, not coming across your chest. All right, well, make those changes, let me know how it goes, and let me know when you're ready for the next steps.